Welcome to 3-Minute Discipleship. My name is Bryan Bock, and I'm one of the elders here at Regeneration Church Monash. So are you thinking of cross-cultural mission? Or are you wanting to share the gospel with someone who is from another culture? If yes, let me give you 3 tips for cross-cultural mission. The first one is conviction. And do you have the conviction for cross-cultural mission? Or are you doing it because it's fun and it allows you to travel and try new food? If that's your motivation, let me be honest with you, just forget it, because you will not last. Cross-cultural mission, whether it is sharing the gospel to your neighbor from another culture or going overseas for mission, it is not an easy task. And that's why we need a firm conviction. Now, there's many Bible passages that may convict you for a cross-cultural mission, but for me, it is the Great Commission from Matthew chapter 28, verse 18 to 20. It says this: Jesus came near and said to them, "All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Go, therefore, and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe everything that I have commanded you. And remember, I am always with you until the end of the age." You see, such conviction will help you persevere in cross-cultural mission, even when things get really tough. The second tip is cultural learning. Aside from the obvious need to share the gospel with them, cultural learning and awareness is also important. If you just assume that everyone is lives like you and thinks like you, that will hinder the gospel from reaching them. You see, a friend once shared with me his cultural mistake. Let's call him Bob. So one day, Bob was going to meet his friend at his company, but then the usual receptionist was not there, maybe on sick leave. So, wanting to be friendly, Bob went with a big smile on his face and extended his hand for a handshake. But that woman, a Muslim woman wearing a hijab, she reacted by moving backwards in disgust. So Bob thought to himself, "What's wrong? How rude of her to not even say hi." But then Bob realized later that for Muslim men and women who are not from the same family, they are not supposed to touch. So for this Muslim woman, Bob's seemingly friendly action is seen as sexually loose. Cultural mistakes like this could hinder the gospel. If this woman knew that Bob was a Christian, then she would probably think that all Christians are sexually loose and would not even consider exploring Christianity. So that's why cultural learning is helpful and important for us to be a good witness for Christ. It requires humility. So we need to ask them questions like, in your culture, what does it look like? How do you show love? Or what kind of values are important in your country? The last tip is to change your habits. Now, after you learn about their culture, we need to change our habits. If it is not appropriate for men and women to touch, then just wave and say hi and smile. If it is polite to slurp loudly when eating your noodles, it shows your appreciation and shows that the food is delicious, then slurp loudly. If it is unloving and shaming to share and give criticism directly, then maybe tell a story or find a mediator to mediate between you and him so that they don't lose face. Now, changing our habits is not easy, and sometimes it is painful. But if you have the conviction for cross-cultural mission And for the sake of their salvation, this is a small price and small sacrifice to pay.